Welcome to Nursing School Explained. In this video on a dosage calculation example for a pediatric patient, and this time we'll be going over the maximum dosage per day. I've already discussed acetaminophen, the actual medication, and then I've given a dosage calculation for a medication calculation per dose, so per incident. And this time we're going to make sure that we do not exceed the maximum dosage recommended for a 24-hour period. So let's look at our example here. So we have the order acetaminophen 10 to 15 milligrams per kilo every 4 to 6 hours as needed for pain on a scale 1 to 3 out of 10, and also as needed for temperature greater than 101.5 degrees Fahrenheit. What we have available from the pharmacy is Tylenol 160 milligrams per 5 milliliters, and our child weighs 23 pounds. Now the question is, what is the maximum dosage you can administer to this patient per day and in milliliters? And when we're talking about maximum dosage, we usually talk about milligrams, and then we also need to calculate this in milliliters. So typically you won't have this line given. So now what you need to do is you need to consult your drug reference to see what is the maximum dosage per kilo for the 24-hour period for this particular medication. And so you go to your drug guide, and what that tells you is the maximum dosage is 90 milligrams per kilo per day or per 24 hours. So now for our calculation, I'm always going to use dimensional analysis because this method is tried and true, and you will never get anything wrong if you're very familiar with this method. So for the first calculation, we're going to calculate it twice. We're going to do the dosage in milligrams and then in milliliters. So first of all, what we want to know is the milligrams per day. That is the max we can give this patient. Now, a day is the same as 24 hours. I just like to write it out as day because then I have it in my dimensions. I have less numbers to deal with, and I'm less inclined to use this as a factor when it comes to my division of the dimensions here. So milligrams per day, how many milligrams can I give this patient? So now I know that my maximum dosage is the 90 milligrams. So I'm going to put this on top, 90 milligrams per kilo. And then I have per day here. So I'll just fill this in instead of 24 hours. And I already need to know that my child's weight is given in pounds, and I have kilograms here. So the conversion is 1 kilo to 2.2 pounds, and then I put in my patient's weight at 23 pounds. And then I'll go ahead and I'll cross cancel my pounds, my kilograms, and I'll check what I'm left with here in terms of units. So I have milligrams and day, which is exactly what I was looking for here. And then I'll just go ahead and I'll calculate my numbers. And this particular one comes out to 940.9, which in this case we'll go ahead and round up to 941 milligrams per day. So that should be the maximum dosage in milligrams that the patient receives. But the question also asked us to calculate it in milliliters. So now we'll just go ahead, and instead of milligrams per day, we'll just look for milliliters per day. And we'll start the exact same way, except this time we need the milliliters on top. And the only thing we have given here with milliliters is what we have available. So 5 milliliters per 160 milligrams. And then now we don't really worry about the individual dosages. We need to go ahead and take this maximum dose here because that's really what we're being asked to calculate. So then I'll go ahead and I'll put my 90 milligrams over the kilos per day as for the same reason. Then I know that my patient's weight is given in pounds, so I'll do that conversion again. And in order to have that cross cancel, I'll put in my patient's weight, 23 pounds. So now I'll go ahead and I'll take a look. Pounds, pounds, kilo, kilo, milligram, milligram. What I'm left with is milliliters per day. And I'll go ahead and I'll do my calculation, and this comes out to 29.4, which we can either leave the same, but since it's per day, we might want to round up to 29 milliliters per day. So always make sure you know what rounding rules apply to your particular nursing school, whether it's to the first decimal or to the whole number when it comes to the maximum dosage per day for the patient. Thanks so much for watching. Also check out my other drug calculation examples specifically for the pediatric population. And I'll see you soon right here on Nursing School Explained. Thanks for watching.